Wow, what an incredible weekend. I just spent a 3-night on Utopia of the Seas. I'm just about to take you along on the journey. You can see a little bit about the ship. I'll give a quick room tour. We'll check out the casino and we'll see how I did in the casino. It's all coming up. I made it. I'm aboard Utopia of the Seas, which you can see behind me here. Very excited to have this boardwalk balcony. A little bit concerned though, this is a 3-night cruise. I need to earn some points, and I'm actually on board with my best cruise buddy, Jessalyn. I don't know if you can see her back there or not, but there she is. And so we have a lot of things booked. We've never been on this ship before, so there's a lot to do and a lot to see, and I still have to get into the casino. So I'm going to take you along and we will see how I do, what games I play, and how much closer I get to Prime for 2025. Welcome to the room. What a great room this was too. Great size, even with 2 people. Now, if you want to know why I'm in a cabin with another person, generally speaking, I usually cruise solo. I love having a cabin to myself. But this offer was one of those buy one, get ones, which is why I got Utopia, which is a brand new ship. So I wasn't actually going to take it because I didn't want to pay for a cruise. But one of my best friends, Jessalyn, she's my travel agent, and she really wanted to get on this ship quickly because, of course, she's booking these ships. She said, hey, why don't I pay the buy one and then you can be the get one and we'll just go on together and check it out. And I was like, of course, let's do that. Now, Jess only paid $300 for this room. We're talking about a gorgeous boardwalk balcony room. As you can see, it's really gorgeous, great for 2 people. Not a lot of room between the beds, but great nonetheless. So I've seen a lot of these casino tours already on YouTube, and I knew it was going to be beautiful, but you really have to see it in person to appreciate it. It's really big, really spacious, a lot of room to move between the games, and the games themselves, there's plenty to choose from. There's a huge non-smoking side. Of course, there's a whole non-smoking casino as well, which we'll see here in a second. But yeah, a great variety of games. The bar is really great, and I really, really enjoyed it. Now, the one thing I will say though, is because this is a brand new ship, there's none of those old school, low volatility games. Games I like to play to stretch my bankroll. Games like 88 Fortunes, Double Diamond, those kind of games. There's none of those on this ship. So most of the games are new and most of them are pretty high volatility. So we're gonna go day by day. We'll see what I played, how much I spent, and how many points I earned. Quickly before I do that though, I wanted to take you for a quick tour of the non-smoking casino. This is where the Jazz Club used to be on the Oasis class ships on deck 4 by Studio B. So there's not a lot of room. I didn't actually find myself playing in here because there's just not a lot of games and there's not a lot of room to maneuver. They do have a
food service station in both the non-smoking and the smoking casino, which I thought was interesting. So I'm not sure if they're planning to serve like nibbly bits and stuff at the casino. They didn't on this cruise, just so you know. All right, day one. So just so you know, I actually used $300 of onboard credit that I got from my Royal Caribbean credit card through Bank of America. So basically you spend a certain amount in the first 3 months and you get a $300 onboard credit. So my plan was to use that $300 onboard credit and not anymore. Of course, my real plan was to win, $20,000, but that plan never works out. So anyway, I got $300 in and away I went on day one. So I'm just showing you a sampling of some of the games I played. I was a little bit discombobulated on day one because again, there's none of my standbys on this ship, those games that I just can play for a long time and stretch my bankroll. So I was really sampling a lot of games that I didn't know and also playing games that I did know and I enjoy, but I know that they are higher volatility games. So this is just me like cycling throughout the day. I will be doing a video of my top favorite games to play on Utopia, the ones I think are safest bets to stretch your bankroll, the ones I think you should avoid. So keep your eyes open for that video. It's coming up soon. I will say that definitely one of the highlights of day one was when me and Jesselyn decided to take a little break and hang out at the bar, and they just happened to have these video poker tabletops. They've got a couple on each side of the bar. So we sat down, we played a little bit of video poker, which is great. It's very high return to player. You can play for a long time without losing too much. It does, however, take $10 cycle through the machine for 1 point, whereas a slot machine is $5. You're still getting a lot of your money back, especially if you're a good poker player. So it's actually a pretty good thing to sit and do. It also helps your Theo, which is the time spent in the casino gambling. So we did that for a while, and then we did something super fun. We played Speed Caveman Keno. So basically, we picked 9 numbers each. We loaded up our machine. We played 4 credits per Keno roll, I guess you could call it. And then we just started hammering on the button. And actually, we both did really good. I ended up earning over 30 points in just about 10 minutes. And I ended up higher than I was before. And I think that Jess actually ended up hitting $200 at one point. So obviously it's gambling. That's not to be expected. But hey, if you want to, slow down your spend a little bit in the casino and help with your Theo, you may want to sit at one of these tabletops and play there. So unfortunately, my phone died near the end of day one, so I didn't capture everything I played, but I will say that I ended the day down about $205 and I had 223 points. So for me, my base level of what I want to get is at least $1 per point. That's not necessarily good, but anything below that is terrible. So I was floating around the acceptable level for day one. Day two, let's keep going, playing a bunch of games that I normally don't play, like Four Towers. Not really a game I play because the base amount you have to put into the machine is really, really high. Coin Combo is one of my favorites. I didn't have a lot of luck on this cruise, but I did play it quite a bit. And you can see throughout the day, I played other things like other Four Towers games. I played like Lobster Mania, which I never play because I've never had luck on that game. That doesn't mean that it's not a good game. Maybe you do really well on it, but I never have. I even played this off-brand Shamrock game and I did not too bad on it. So by the end of day two, I had put in another $100. So this was the first $100 of my own money. And so I was down $400 and I had about 440 points. So again, just along that line of $1 a point, which is acceptable, but not great. Now, if I would have been smart, this is where I would have stopped. I would have just said, hey, Chris, You know, you've spent $100 of your own money. You've earned 440 points. You're only about 700 points away from Prime for 2025. You've got Grandeur of the Seas coming up, which is a 5-night, and you've also got a 7-night on Wonder of the Seas. That is plenty of nights to hit Prime. But no, I decided to keep going, and things really went off the rails. I started putting a lot of money in the machines, and I wasn't really doing great. I'd have a couple of wins here and there, but for the most part, it just was not happening for me. So at the end of day 3, I ended up being down $700, and I ended up with 753 points, plus the 12 points I made off of my free play. So 765 points total. And like I said, I'm about 500 points now from Prime for 2025, which is the one, I guess, silver lining. And again, of course, I spent $700. I ended up with 765 points. So I just stayed above that dollar per point line. Again, not great, but not the worst thing. I could have made out much better on this cruise if I would have been more disciplined. I was chasing pots. I was spending more than I should. I was not being as disciplined as I should have been. I could have went to karaoke. I could have went and had another snack. But you know, the allure of the casino sometimes is pretty strong, and you have to be really careful and disciplined if you want to make sure that these comp cruises are real value for you. So I was thinking, as a punishment for myself for being so undisciplined, that I was going to cancel this Grandeur of the Seas cruise, that 5-night. Now, of course, you know, it's a comp cruise, so I didn't pay any fare for it. I just paid my port fees and taxes. But you start thinking about, you know, other things like, you know, your gas to get to the port, your parking at the port, your Wi-Fi, any incidentals that you have on the ship. And you can see, you know, it's not free. So you are spending some money. So I thought maybe I'd punish myself for overspending on Utopia. I haven't quite decided yet. I think I will end up taking this Grandeur cruise because I fell in love with that ship when I cruised on it a couple of months ago. So I guess, you know, time will tell. And of course, you'll get all the updates there. If you want a breakdown of every penny I spent for this gorgeous experience on Utopia of the Seas, including getting to the port, Wi-Fi, all of that great stuff, I'm going to make a video breaking it down item by item so you can see how much these free cruises really cost. Thanks for watching.